evening. My name is Linda Nalunga and I am your host today. I'm Linda Nalunga and I am the founder of True Essence of Nature, also known as TM. And today I have a wonderful guest here with me, and his name is Stephen Sally from the Mariandina Foundation. So hello Stephen, say hello to our viewers.
Hello viewers from Dimples TV. I just want to be, it's such a pleasure to be here with you, and I'm sure today is another beautiful day. We can continue to share information and grow in different ways.
Oh yes, indeed. So today I would like our host to, tell us about yourself, Stephen.
Well, my name is Stephen Sally. I'm a nutritionist as well as also an intuitive healer. I work as a quantum energy coach as well.
Oh.
I also do what we call talk shows, health events, basically all based around holistic health. One of the things that I also do is we run a supplement company called Mariandina, which has been in existence from 1988.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
So, let's just stop you there for a minute. So tell me, you spoke about quantitative energy. Can you please tell us more? We're having this conversation. Actually, today we're going to have a conversation about holistic health. So it's a conversation. And if you want to, bring in some comments and stuff, let us know. And we'll answer you as we go along. So tell us more about quantitative.
What we call quantum or intuitive healing is about looking at everything as energy. Our entire bodies, our existence, we exist in an energy field. The whole universe is made up of energy. And we're constantly understanding that we are existing in a huge energy field, but everything vibrates, everything resonates, everything has a frequency pattern that it's actually resonating at. In fact, when we look at energy, we're looking at really the essence of vibration in its different forms.
So for the everyday person, what exactly, if like somebody like me, I'm a novice, so for me, what would vibration be about?
Okay.
By the way, I have been a student of Stephen Sally, and also I'm one of his patients. And but for the everyday person, can you explain it a little bit easier so we understand what energy and all that energy healing is all about?
Okay, what is important at this stage is that whales have sonar. Okay, birds have radar, meaning that a whale can see something 200 miles away and sense it. Birds have radar; they can actually look at flying south for the winter, and they've never been there before. And salmon swim upriver, and they've actually to have their spawning grounds. Now, if the Creator has given every aspect of living thing what we call an intuitive capacity. So, intuition is something we all have. Okay, it's something we're using on a daily basis. Let's say your mum calls you and says, "I was just thinking about you, then you called." Okay, so we're using it for things like that all the time.
Oh, really?
Well, let's say your brother's coming around and he says, "You know what?" Then you say, "Oh my goodness, my brother's come around. I can't believe it. I was just thinking about you the other day, and now you're here." So it's something that we're using all the time. So what is so interesting is that it's something that is a gift that we all have. One of the things that is now in our understanding is that we are in the world of really understanding that whether they do a blood test, whether they do a urine test, whether they do a stool test, or whether they do a MRI scan, CT scan, they're looking at what they call vibrational patterns in the body, what I call biomarkers, in the body. These are aspects of our bodies. This is the liver, the kidney, the pancreas, the heart, the pancreas. They all have a resonating frequency where they have a healthy vibration and an imbalanced vibration. So when we're looking at what we call the energetics of the body, you're understanding the body in terms of a holistic platform. So mind, body, and spirit. So you're looking at the body as a whole, but also you're understanding that the body vibrates, the body sends out energy. Just like our mobile phones, when you ring somebody, it has a specific frequency that goes straight to, and that person is actually picked up and picks up their phone and says hello. Okay, but now that's the same thing. We are always in communication. Our body is like a broadcasting station all the time, and we're constantly sending out information and receiving information. But now when you're talking about really energetic healing, or healing in terms of really wholeness and harmony with what we call nature, because all these energies are infused in nature. That's why we use the herbs, the vitamins, the minerals, the adaptogens. These are all part of nature's natural remedies, which all carry specific vibrations and specific energetics that communicate with our bodies, because our bodies are actually from nature. We always want to be a product of our environment, as they always say. So we're also coming back to the environment we're in is about really listening to our bodies, because inside of all of us is an inner doctor. That inner doctor is always communicating with us on many levels. And we're learning how to really begin to tap into that innate power of knowing. Okay? And what we're looking at really when it comes to understanding energy healing, it also taps into the power of vibration medicine, because vibration medicine is where your system is actually having minor adjustments along the way to create inner harmony, inner peace, and inner joy for you. Because what is always very important for us to remember is that where we got sick, or where we become unwell, or where we become imbalanced in any way, is because our systems are in an environment that sometimes is toxic for us, but also creating what we call deficiency diseases. We're not having enough minerals in our body. We're not having enough different components that help us to repair our systems.
So just to stop you there, so let's say I am me, Linda Naluna, and I've got a situation that, you know, let's say I've got constant headaches and things like that. How do I tap into my inner doctor, inner, you know, healer? How do I do that? Or do I need somebody to kind of like somebody like you to help me? How do I do that? You know?
Okay. That's a very interesting question, because I'm so glad you asked that question. It's important because our body speaks to us all the time. When your body is having what they call a communication, it's going to communicate through signs and symptoms. Okay, sometimes we get a headache, sometimes we get bloatedness, or sometimes we feel like tired, maybe we're feeling fatigued, maybe the skin may be dry, you've got dry lips. If you've got what we call a situation where you're going through, you can't sleep properly. So all these things are aspects that actually are leading us to realize that the body has symptoms that it gives us. Now, it's about interpreting those symptoms. That's why diagnosis is the key. If you get the right diagnosis, you're going to provide the right solutions, which will open up the doors that into wellness. It's like building a personal roadmap. And when it comes back to yourself really having headaches, every person who gets a headache, one of them is about 24 causes of headaches, but usually out of 8 cases out of 10, you'll find it's due to lack of water. Okay? Water intake is so important, because many people today, they drink water, but they don't drink enough. Other people drink water, but they don't absorb enough water. Okay, so they can go to drinking water, they might be drinking the water, but it's just going out of the system very quickly. Meaning that they're not absorbing the water into their body, and they find that in most cases their lips tend to be dry and their skin tends to be dry, and they're going to the toilet very frequently. It means that water is just washing out. Now, if you're not absorbing water, water is so essential for your lubrication of your joints. It's so essential for really perspiration. You're releasing toxins and allowing your body to really function in terms of really even digestive capacity. It's also very important for really the fact that your system, if you're having lack of water, it also puts a strain on the whole body. It means that your body is 70% water. Okay, so if your body is not able to heal and do what it's designed to do, it creates a situation where you can end up in a situation where you start to create a whole host of conditions because of dehydration. And there was a book that was written by a doctor called Dr. Patanjali.
There for a minute.
And he wrote a book. I just want to say that book called Your Body's Many Cries for Water. You can look that up yourselves.
Your body's what?
Your Body's Many Cries for Water. Yeah, and this was a book written by Dr. Patanjali, and he said that every disease, be it high blood pressure, arthritis, diabetes, and many other conditions, can all be linked back to dehydration. And he said when he was doing his experiment, he was able to actually give people water treatments, and they were able to recover from many conditions. I just wanted to say that.
Excellent. So I hope you guys are getting it. One of the main reasons why you're having headaches is dehydration, not drinking enough water, and some of the signs and symptoms that Dr. Stephen has spoken about is dry skin, dry lips, you know, and constant headaches. So I just wanted to ask you a question there. You said there are 24 reasons why people might have headaches. I'm really interested in knowing more about that. And again, before I actually go in, we're going to get into that. But also, after that, I want you to tell us more about yourself and the Mariandina Foundation, because I know that is a big, big work that was started many, many years ago by your father. So I want us to talk more about that as well. But before that, I want you to tell me about 24 reasons why we get a headache. Oh my God, would you not want to know about that? Please comment. Let us see your comments about, you know, because that is really interesting. I mean, we have people who have migraines, and of course with the migraines there are a lot of imbalances and, you know, chemical situations happening in the body. But I want to know more, you know, because I'm sure a lot of you out there want to know.
What is most important? I mean, by the time we get a headache, the body has actually gone into place. Everything's about protecting the brain. The brain is the central computer for the body. Now, if the brain itself is dehydrated or compromised by lack of water, it creates a situation where the body itself starts to actually give you an alarm bell, okay? And the first alarm bell is a headache, okay? So the alarm bell starts to ring, but usually what people do is they reach for the painkiller tablet.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay?
Paracetamol.
So they reach and they pop a pill, and they say, oh, the headache's gone, okay? But the headache going doesn't mean the original root cause is gone. So you find that people tend to now go into what they call longer and longer headaches. Sometimes the headaches move into migraines.
Yeah.
And headaches are triggered, okay? Some things trigger headaches. Some things, I mean, now we are in a world where a lot of chemicals, over 70,000 chemicals are in our environment alone. We've got over 4,000 chemicals that they use in food preparation, from emulsifiers, food additives, and preservatives, and all kinds of things that they use in our foods. These chemicals also can combine in such a way to bring about a sense of demise for the body, also triggering headaches. You can find that a lot of people sometimes, their mobile phone alone, when they've talked to it for a very long time, it can bring up a headache. And this is what they call radiation from these mobile phones. That actually is responsible for what we call imbalance in the body, because the body is also electrical in nature. At the same time, what you're finding as well is that headaches can also be related to hormone imbalance. Okay, if your hormones are imbalanced as well, that can trigger off a lot of what we call headaches that become into migraines. And people say, you know what, I'm always having a headache every day, and also it's lasting now to the whole day having a headache. But also the same thing can happen when you realize that a lot of what is happening is that headaches can also be triggered by what we call a compromised immune system. Your immune system is so delicately balanced, okay? It is calibrating every aspect of yourself to the right moment that it needs to do, because what happens is that we go into what they call deficiency syndrome, okay? Deficiency syndrome means that the body has certain key nutrients that it requires, but it's not getting them. So it starts to really now find ways of what they call coping mechanisms. And you find that in many cases our systems have been compromised because we're lacking zinc. Zinc is so important for the immune system. It's what helps the immune system to repair, to regenerate itself. If you're lacking chromium, it's going to affect your pancreas, okay? Because chromium is so essential for insulin production. If you're lacking magnesium, magnesium helps you relax your muscles, as well as also relax the arteries and veins. At the same time, what you find if you're lacking things like B12, a lot of people suffer from deficiency of B12. That you find that it affects their mood. It sometimes lead to what they call mood deficiencies. Their mood is always like a very low mood. If they're lacking cobalt, that is also linked to what we call deficiency. That can bring about what they call headaches. But what you're also seeing today is that many people have not taken into context the power of the world of what I call antioxidants. Okay?
Do you hear that? Antioxidants.
Yeah,
We
many
hear a lot
people,
about
the
that.
free radicals are what build up in our system. Free radicals are byproducts of cell metabolism. Okay, your body was made in such a way that every time you're breathing, every time you're moving about, you're creating free radicals. It's like when you drive your car, your exhaust fumes are what coming out. So we also produce waste in our body every day. But even toxicity in the body can lead to headaches. That is why the body sends you an alarm bell when the toxin level in the brain says gets too high. It wants you to drink water so you can lower the toxic overload. But also another thing, that we're not actually doing cleanses anymore. All right, we're not performing deep cleanses or detoxing. Okay, so that accumulation leads to what we call headaches as well. At the same time, you find that we are in a situation where a lot of what is happening is that parasites are also linked to this sort of issue as well. You find that people are not actually deworming. So you used to deworm the cat, they deworm the dog, they deworm the little child, but they forget to deworm themselves.
Okay. Now I want us to slow down so that people are really understanding. So, free radicals. Okay. So we have free radicals in our body. What I want you to explain to the audience is, how do we now get rid of those? Gently get rid of them.
Okay, there's a cycle called Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle is just happening. Yeah, it's a cycle.
That is quite new.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
No, it's not new.
Right.
What is important here is to
Krebs
remember
cycle.
that.
How do you spell that so people can understand?
KLEB is called Krebs cycle. Basically, it's just a cycle denoting what is happening to every cell. We're made up of trillions of cells in our body. Our body is constantly producing one thing: heat. Okay. It is literally producing heat. Every cell, inside of every cell, think of a cell, and you have what they call a nucleus in the middle. You've also got a very important area, a part of called the mitochondria.
Yes.
In that mitochondria, that is your energy house of the body. Every cell is producing heat all the time. So what you want to do at this stage is, how do you enhance cellular function? And that is by improving the environment of the cell. The cell is always being nourished by the blood. Okay, when you have a deficiency in the blood, it affects all the cells in the body because everything is getting nourished by the blood. That is why we're seeing today a lot of what is happening is that the byproducts of cellular metabolism is free radicals. Okay, so you get the free radicals in the form of what we call carbon dioxide. We breathe out the carbon dioxide. Then there's another free radical called which we call, let's say, hydrogen peroxide. Okay, now hydrogen peroxide breaks down into water, H2O, and the singlet oxygen, which is hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, breaks down into water, H2O, and the singlet oxygen. That singlet oxygen causes something similar to iron rust in the body and starts to damage the cells, and that's what they call free radicals. That's why they call it oxidative stress. Okay, so when you look at the world of holistic health, we're dealing with antioxidants. We want antioxidants to mop up these toxic substances in our system. But not only are we producing a toxicity from what we call cellular metabolism, but we're also creating an avenue where we are also eating a lot of foods and vegetables and all kinds of foods that actually sometimes come laden with toxins, like fungicides, like herbicides, like pesticides, like all kinds of things that really we take. So the body sometimes gets overloaded. At the same time, because we're not eating enough what they call fresh leafy green vegetables and things like that, we can create a deficiency in ourselves that it creates what we call a process where these free radicals build up in our systems, creating what we call dis-ease. Okay, and we are in a state where we now have to realize that the reason why we're seeing a rise in what we call disease management, a rise in what we call drug dependency, a rise in what we call a situation where people are now using 20 tablets just to control their system, is because we have gone into a world where the body is not tapping into its natural healing power.
Okay. Now, Stephen, sorry to interject there. What I wanted you to tell the audience is, how do we rid the body of free radicals?
One of the key ways of ridding the body is, I can say about 5 ways, more ways, but I can talk about the 5 ways. The first thing we should do is hydrate. Okay? Hydration is the key to healing. Okay? If we can drink enough water, that's the first case. Water is so powerful, its healing capacity, but also the quality of water we drink is so important. And also what I would say, spring water is probably one of the best waters to drink, but also at the same time, we're now realizing that there's hard water and soft water, but also the quality and potency of water, but also the fact that water itself is not only lubricating, but it's also cleansing. All right? So it also helps us to wash out toxins from the cells. The second thing we need to have is a high, dense, nutrient diet, rich in leafy green vegetables, rich in superfoods, rich in what I would call the foods that help the body to repair itself, what I call vitamins, minerals, adaptogens, tissue salts, amino acids. They all are contributing to your continuous and robust health. The third thing we can look at here is also the area of understanding that you also need to find ways of doing a detox. Okay, detoxing and cleansing the body is really part of holistic living. It means that you create an environment where your system can actually let go of toxins. Performing cleanses we talked about the parasite cleanse. A parasite cleanse is something that enables us to reduce our parasite overload. Parasites, if you're hearing it for the first time, come in the form of tapeworms, come in the form of threadworms, come in the form of roundworms, and there are over thousands of parasites that cause many conditions and disease. 40% of people today in hospital are there because of parasite issues. 40%. So parasites can play a big role. Sometimes, like I said earlier on, we deworm the cat, we deworm the dog. We may have a washout down when we're back in the Caribbean and Africa, but we forget that our systems need a regular cleansing of these parasites. Okay. The third thing we can do is do some sort of what they call colonic cleanse, because a lot of toxins and toxicity starts in the colon. Okay. In fact, today colon cancer is killing more people than any other cancer. And today we're seeing that unless we begin to understand the dynamics of really how to really cleanse the gut, we are seeing that a lot of what is happening is that the buildup, I think it was the Royal Society of Medicine said to us, over 65% of health challenges are all related to a toxic colon. So because of people are not eating enough fiber in their diet, they're not having enough fiber, so it means that they sometimes have what we call, they become constipated, and they also at the same time the situation where the system becomes clogged up, and eventually what we do is we end up in what we call a toxic state. So everything that we're doing at this stage is understanding that the body's capacity to heal depends on how often we cleanse it. For example, your blood. Your blood also needs cleansing, okay? It can't get toxic. You've got the liver that is filtering the blood all the time, and the kidneys. Now, you need to support these organs with what we call specific nutrients, like milk thistle for the liver, dandelion for the liver, and a lot of things like burdock are very good for cleaning the blood. And also you find that things like yellow dock, these are all specific, what we call the family of antioxidants that are very powerful at nourishing and helping the liver do its work, because the liver is the #1 detoxification organ in the body. And if that liver is actually sluggish, or it's actually not performing well because it's filtering the blood, but it's also there's a buildup of toxins, we need to find a way of doing a liver cleanse. Okay? At the same time, we can also do what they call the stomach cleanse. So there's many cleanses we can do. Now also, in terms of really toxicity, we can actually realize that free radicals sometimes come from our own issue of not exercising. Okay? Exercise plays a key role in helping us to drop free radicals out of the system. The more we exercise our systems, the more our systems move into a sense of letting go of these free radicals. For example, the lymph system is a system of where waste also leaves the body. Now, whatever can't be filtered through the blood, in terms of filtering the liver and the kidney, ends up in the lymph system. And you find that many times if you're living a sedentary lifestyle, there can be a buildup of toxicity in the lymph system, and this can create what they call auto-intoxication.
So just to stop you there, viewers, I hope you're really enjoying the content that we're giving out here. I mean, Stephen is an absolute genius when it comes to this stuff, and I can tell you I'm one of his patients, and that's why he's here today. So please share, okay? Share this video, invite your friends to come and watch us here. We're at Dimpa's Lounge. You can also share on YouTube, and let your friends, enjoy the information, and let's help each other. Let's help each other heal, okay? So, Stephen, sorry for actually interjecting there,
Okay.
While you were sharing this, but I thought it was really, really important for us to get it out there for people to actually share what you're telling us today. I mean, I'm learning so much from you. When you talked about the parasite cleanse and you're talking about adaptogens and all these things, I mean, a lot of us, including myself, I don't really know so much. Despite being a health professional, I don't know so much of what you're talking about, and these are the things that we all need to know out there. Tell me about, for instance, I've heard about leaky gut. Okay, this is something that, can actually show up on people's skin, and again, that comes from a really unhealthy colon. So, do you want to tell us more about that?
Okay, I mean, that whole syndrome is sometimes called leaky gut syndrome, and basically it means that our intestinal tract is permeable. Okay, we're absorbing food. There's a blood system that helps us to absorb whatever nutrients we need into the blood supply. Now, when we are having leaky gut, it means that bigger particles than normal are moving into the bloodstream, and also then it means that our immune system now has to find ways of really phagocytizing this abnormal body that has gone in through the blood system. What we also want to remember as well at this stage is that many times one can be in a space where their main issue is that they've been on a long-term process of antibiotics, okay, and this has damaged a lot of what we call their gut flora, okay, so they're no longer breaking down their food properly, and the food is now ending up undigested properly, and it's ending up later on in the system and ending up in their blood supply because of what we call the leaky gut scenario. But also the fact that gluten is probably one of the nutrients that helps us to really strengthen the gut lining, all right? And it really reinforces the what I would call the integrity of the gut. Okay. Today, a lot of people are not actually. Sometimes we're not eating enzyme-rich foods, and this can also compromise digestive capacity. Things like sprouted foods and things like that. These also increase enzyme activity, but also sometimes the fact that in today's world we are sometimes tending to actually drink very ice-cold drinks after a meal. And this also, in that digestive area, there is a fire. It's a digestive fire. This fire is supposed to break down our food. But anytime we're drinking very cold drinks, it is also interfering and creating dysbiosis, which we call bad digestion or bad digestive capacity. So your integrity in the stomach area also becomes compromised, because now the ice will freeze what we call the environment of that food, and it will actually now not foster digestion in the stomach area. So we want to remember that leaky gut starts sometimes way up the line, up the digestive tract. One thing we also want to remember is that a lot of what happens in this area is that things are treatable. Things are, the body, like I said, has the capacity to heal itself. Usually, if you provide the right nutrition, if you provide the right form of nutrients, the body can start the process of repair. Many people go through conditions where they are literally just what I would call living with diabetes, or living with leaky gut syndrome, or living with cancer, or living with arthritis, or living with diabetes. All these conditions are literally become they are in many cases lifestyle conditions. Just by changing our lifestyle, we can correct so many things and bring the body back in a good state of health and well-being. What we're realizing today is that the gut can bring about so many diseases. In fact, cancer can also start in the different parts of the gut, as we said earlier. At the same time, you're finding that digestive diseases like leaky gut syndrome, that people have what we call irritable bowel syndrome, and also other people have different, like Crohn's disease. All these are conditions that can actually, some people get piles, or they get hemorrhoids. They find, and these are all related to the fact that something along the digestive tract is not actually being handled properly. And many times people have what they call bloatedness, or stomach pain, or they get acid reflux. All these are conditions of the gut that allow us to realize that something is not quite right, and something is either blocked or something that needs attention. And in many cases, we take things to suppress conditions. Okay? And this is where the medical conventional space of thinking is mainly based about suppression of conditions, or suppression of certain symptoms, but never really dealing with the root cause. I always say, if you address the root cause, you can actually tackle so many solutions to imbalances and illness and disease or sickness of any form, because the body was designed by a creator who has never actually changed the body design. It is always the same design. He designed it once and it was done. Okay? He's not improving it like a mobile phone, saying I need another version of a smartphone or a smart TV. He's there saying you've got a smart body. Everybody does. What we need to do is understand, to listen to the body, because the body speaks a very clear language. It's a language that is very unmistakable, and many times we're not applying what I think would help us to really help the body adjust. That's why we have what we call adaptogens. If you look at adaptogens, the word adapt is in adaptogens. Okay? So the body is always trying to adjust, because the body wants balance. It wants homeostasis. And what we find in today's world is that through suppression of conditions, the conditions then become repressed, and then eventually what happens is that we become what we call into an area which I talked about earlier, which is disease management, drug dependent, or we become what we call in a state where we're constantly popping painkillers just to control the situation, or we're in a state where now inflammation is another big thing that is actually happening all around the body, and it's happening because of the fact I talked about the adaptogens. If the body fails to adapt, then you get inflammation. Okay, and that's where you get swelling, you get redness in the skin, or you find that you have pain in some area. Then we'll get it in their hands, you get arthritis. So anything with itis at the end of it is what we call related to inflammation.
So in terms of inflammation, in fact, it's a good thing you brought it up, because I was going to ask you about that. Because what is it related to? I know we talk about mucus and all that kind of stuff. So how do people then realize, I've got quite a lot of mucus, and what can I do about it?
I'm glad to bring up the area of mucus. Mucus is something, is probably one of our worst offenders, because it really causes a buildup in the system. It can create imbalances, but just stops the system from working as it was designed to. So we've got to be careful with the fact that, I say every morning, if you can, it's something very simple. Start with warm lemon juice, okay? Squeeze some lemon juice, lemon in a glass of hot water, and drink that first thing in the morning. That will bring the mucus out of your system. It will also help you to actually trigger and stimulate your liver to actually really start the cleansing process as well. One thing we're realizing is that inflammation is something that you find for a lot of people. They're taking all kinds of steroids to manage this. But what happens is that you find that a lot of this is also because the system is lacking certain nutrients that are required to actually create what we call used for correct metabolism. So when you don't have these correct nutrients for your system, or the right spare parts, the body starts to try and repair itself, but it can't. It says, oh, we're supposed to have zinc, but the immune system is saying, oh, we're not low on zinc, we can't give you any more zinc in this area, we're going to hold on to it. So yeah, we need calcium in this area. The body says, oh, we don't have any calcium, so it starts to strip the bones of calcium. At the same time, if you find a situation where you are now where you don't have enough chromium, the body can also go into a deficiency because of the fact that diabetes, high blood pressure, and all these conditions, or inflammation, they don't start from 2 weeks ago or 10 months ago. They start from many years of deficiency, many years of neglect. When you look at inflammation, okay, even if you look at arthritis, there's 100 forms of arthritis, from osteoarthritis and many other forms, rheumatoid arthritis, is conditions that are related to what they call autoimmune conditions, where the immune system is actually fighting against itself, and condition that relates to that is lupus. But also rheumatoid arthritis is another one that is actually related to autoimmune condition. So what we want to actually understand is that inflammation can also be linked to what we call the liver. The liver plays a key role in literally your digestive capacity and also balance of blood sugar level. When you're not having what they call poor blood sugar regulation, this can also lead to inflammation. All right, because high insulin levels and high sugar levels are also now contributing to inflammation in the body. At the same time, you find that, like I said, deficiencies of nutrients can also contribute, but also you're finding for some people, even the fact that they're not digesting the food properly, and this leaky gut syndrome can end up actually causing inflammation in the gut, where you have what they call gastritis. All these, anything with itis, gastritis, colitis, or arthritis, or nephritis, these are all itises, and all the things that end with itis are all related to inflammation. So inflammation can happen anywhere, and even the brain can be inflamed. So what you always want to do is find ways of actually looking at natural anti-inflammatories. Okay, there are things nature has for us as solutions, and one of them is something that we have every day in our supermarkets. Pineapple. The pineapple has got a compound called bromelain. Okay, bromelain is so powerful at reducing inflammation in the body. Just by eating 2 servings of pineapple a week, you could control inflammation. Okay, boswellia is another herb. Okay, very powerful herb, again, for helping the body to really control inflammation. The simple herb called turmeric is also very good, again, for controlling these things. So what we're saying today is that we have a world of natural remedies, natural nutrients that really do wonders in the body. The Creator's blessed us with so much, but we're not hardly using these. All the spices, from coriander to cumin to sage to paprika or garam masala, all these Asian spices, they've got tremendous healing capacity. And we have not looked into the power of antioxidants, but within every one of those, from chives to sage to cayenne pepper, they all stimulate the body. And what we're looking at here is really using food as a method of healing the body. Because it was a great Imhotep who said to us, let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. Now, we are now realizing that our food has become a cocktail of chemicals, because so many chemicals are used in processing and refining the food. So by the time the food gets into the table, it's deficient in a lot of the nutrients. Right now, they're doing what they call fortified foods, which are now, because of the highly processed foods, they're reducing the nutrient value in the foods. Today, a lot of our food is genetically modified. We're getting seedless oranges, seedless grapes, seedless lemons, seedless tangerines. So when you look in the supermarkets, you'll be hard pressed to find foods with seeds in them, because genetically modified companies have now moved into the field of food, and they've now modified the food, the DNA of the food, which is the very fabric of the blueprint of the food that the Creator put together, and is now we're eating seedless grapes. And eventually, we ourselves, because we're absorbing these things, we have what they call a generation that is coming that will also be seedless. Because so we have to really put into context what is going on in the world that we're living in. We also have to share that what is happening as well is that these genetically modified ingredients also interfere with our own DNA, and they also confuse the DNA. They corrupt the DNA. In so many cases, there's a law that has been passed in America that is stating that genetically modified companies do not have to put their ingredients on the label. So you will never even know that you're eating genetically modified food, because of the fact that they don't want to be sued by people when they found that 10 years later that whatever has been genetically modified is actually causing what problems in the body. So we're living in a world where we've got to be very clear that we're in a bit of a health crisis at the moment. And a lot of people are suffering in hospitals with no way out, and meaning going for expensive operations, going for what we call places where they find that they've been told they've got 6 months to live, and they've been told that there's nothing we can do. We have to amputate you. There's nothing. So we having to what they call the NHS right now cannot cope with the influx of patients at the moment. So we're seeing that the NHS is having to now divert patients to what they call paramedics because of the fact that we are in a crisis in our community, crisis in our nation, but also a crisis in our world when it comes to health matters.
So Stephen, actually, I want to talk about this because this is really, really important, especially for our people of darker skin when we talk about vitamin D. And I think that is really crucial because for me, those of you that know me, I am a mental health nurse, and over the years I've worked with people for many, many years. And one of the things that has been actually key for mental health is a deficiency in vitamin D. And also for people with polycystic ovary syndrome, for instance, and endometriosis, vitamin D is quite key. What do you want to tell the audience about this? Because I think everyone out there, go out there. The sun is out now. We're living in this environment, especially people who are living out of Africa, living in Western countries. We only get the sun for just a few months. So, Stephen, can you tell us what we can do for those of us who are here who are not always accessing the sun? How do we metabolize vitamin D? How do we get access to vitamin D? Please tell the audience.
Yeah, that's a very important question, and
because it affects our mental health most of all.
Absolutely. I mean, I think vitamin D in itself is one of the family of antioxidants, and it's just one component, but also a very important component because, as you've stated, if you have got a situation where you are deficient in sunshine for over 4 months in this country. Melanin, which is a chemical in this body, every human being has some form of melanin. We have to remember that melanin itself is a gift. Okay, it actually carries energy. It is actually a battery. It's storing energy. Every time melanin is here, it is actually absorbing cosmic rays, X-rays, so many energy, UV rays from our environment. What is most important is that within every melanin component within every cell is a melanocyte. That is where the melanin is made. Okay, so the melanocytes are all over the body, but they're also inside the body. Your liver, your kidney, your pancreas, your ears, everything is all covered in melanin. What is most important here is the Creator has designed our systems in such a way that when we receive sunshine on our skin, immediately under the skin, vitamin D is actually being formed. So what you're seeing today is that.
Okay, again, viewers, I think this is really, sorry to interject, Stephen. I think this is another thing that is really, really important for each and every one of us here. Please share this link, share with your friends, let everybody learn about these things because they're really, really important. Okay, thank you.
Okay, what is important is that vitamin D3, or vitamin D is being formed on our skin. Okay, many times when we are becoming what they call deficient in vitamin D3, we end up with a whole host of conditions. And from now, you see doctors up and down the country are prescribing vitamin D as routine. Okay, but yet on warm weather like this, we should be spending more time outdoors. Many people never leave their house. They never leave their house. They don't even open the windows. They have the curtains shut and they're on there with the television and the remote. I'm not saying that in the sense that creates a situation where we create a deficiency of vitamin D3 over a period of time, because even in the winter months, we also realizing that a lot of what happens is that our systems become deficient in vitamin D3 because of the fact that we are having low levels of sunshine, but also in many cases we are seeing that vitamin D3 is so important for processing other nutrients as well. So if you're lacking vitamin D3, it has what they call a negative impact on other processes in the body. Today what we're seeing is that everything that we want to make forward is really bring ourselves into the awareness that vitamin D3 itself is so important as a valuable mineral, a valuable nutrient, should I say, to really create what I will call better health. For example, even for people sometimes it is linked to breast cancer as well as also prostate cancer. Okay, now that's just one of some of the cancers that vitamin D3 is linked to, and there are studies that have been shown that men and women who have low levels of vitamin D3, there is a link to what we call breast cancer forming or prostate cancer form. But these are so many other cancers that studies that have been done that you can look up yourself. There's a book here that is been written by Mr. Patrick Holford, who's a nutritionist, and he's talking about saying no to cancer. But one of the things he mentions in there is that because we are in a state where our systems are literally, many times in our homes we've got artificial energy saving bulbs, okay? In terms of these artificial energy saving bulbs, inside these artificial saving bulbs is mercury, okay? Now every time it gets hot, that mercury seeps out of the bulb and we now inhale it. Now we can actually put full spectrum lighting inside your house, okay? What does that mean? It means that there's certain bulbs that are made today that can actually give you the equivalent of sunlight in your house, okay?
Say that again? What bulbs again?
They're called full spectrum lighting, okay? Full spectrum lighting actually enables you to get the full spectrum of the sun in your house, okay? Now what does that mean for you and me? It means that now we can actually address the situation that happens in the wintertime, where people feel low in the winter. They get some condition called seasonal affective disorder, which is sad, okay? And this, like the name, they feel sad in the winter, or they get the winter blues. This is because of low levels of vitamin D in the system. Many times people become unwell. Some people tend to fly away for the winter. Some people, but in many cases what you find is that what we really want to look at here is the fact that vitamin D is so essential. It also can be made in your liver, okay? So your liver also has a way of processing and producing vitamin D3, but that can be taken in supplement form, and that can actually now be processed by your liver. But again, what you want is to get much of it on the skin. Today what we have is a situation where the melanin I'm talking about can also be compromised, okay? Because just like it's processing and making vitamin D underneath the skin, you're also having a situation where melanin itself actually heals the body. It is a healing chemical. So it is not only a healing chemical, but it is a communication chemical. It is transmitting energy and receiving energy, but also it is an intelligent chemical. And it is also helping us to actually realize one thing, is that we are always producing something from our pineal gland called melatonin while we're sleeping, and serotonin during the day. These are very powerful hormones that repair the body, regenerate the body. And notice the one melatonin. Melatonin means that there's melanin in there being released into the body to repair and regenerate the body. That is why it's very important. If people who sleep with the light on, okay, they create a deficiency in the body because the pineal gland cannot release the melatonin through the night because it is triggered in darkness, okay? And if you're doing night work, that is compromising your liver. You're going to have liver problems because the liver regeneration time, according to the body clock, the Creator has given us a body clock called the circadian rhythm. This is what actually tells the body what to do, when to do it. That's why you have a lunch hour between 1 and 2, because that's a small intestine phase. That's where high digestion is taking place in that time. Every morning between 7 and 9 o'clock in the morning, that is a time when one should feel like going for a bowel movement, okay? But if you're not actually going for the bowel movement at that time, or you're spending 3 days without going for a bowel movement, it means that your body clock is out of sync. So the body was designed like a clock. It has to do certain things at a certain time. So the liver, I was talking about, between the time 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., your liver is in its highest regeneration phase. That is when we need to be in the dark, because so the melanin, the pineal gland can release the melatonin, and also we can also need to be lying down.
You know what, that is quite important actually what you just said, because for me, being a mental health nurse, I'm thinking about people that I've looked after with learning difficulties, people with ADHD, where we actually have to physically give them medication, melatonin, synthetic melatonin, and now we're being told actually going to bed, having a good sleep in the dark is one of the key things, and also, your vitamin D. So people, please, a lot of people out there, especially our people nowadays, you've got young children, active children, and what they're telling you is, you know what, we're prescribing melatonin and synthetic medications, as you know, they have their perks, but also they come with a lot of side effects. So again, one of the key things you can actually be doing, take your children out to play, take them out in the sun, get that vitamin D in there. Get them to sleep at night with no lighting on. Little things that you can actually do and adapt in your home that can actually be key to good health. Stephen, I wanted to really talk to you about, for instance, Mariandina. I mean, that is, I want to talk about it because you know what, I use it. It's a vitamin supplement, and Stephen is the founder, really. co-founder, and I think it's really, really important for our people to know what is out there, things that can help them. I mean, we're talking about vitamins, we're talking about supplementation, we're talking about eating the right foods, but sometimes we can't actually get that food. So what can we do? And I know that one of the key things is getting a good quality vitamin supplement, and Mariandina is just great. So please tell us about it, because we've got just a few minutes before we finish, and I think this is really important for us to talk about it. So tell us about Mariandina and what it does. And
okay, one of the things we've got to remember as well is that our bodies, like I said, are in a situation where, first of all, we want to look at why we should supplement.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first thing.
Why
First of all, a lot of us sometimes say, why do I need to supplement? I'm eating food, I'm drinking my water, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and they say, I don't need to supplement. Now, supplementation, the whole world is moving towards that energy of knowing that the food that we're eating is deficient in so many things. If you're microwaving your food, you're damaging your food nutrients, okay? And you're bringing out disease conditions, because the microwave disorientates the food and also changes the texture and also lowers nutrition of the food. If you're in a situation where today they have intensive farming, okay? Intensive farming means that they're using artificial manure and to actually produce the crops that we eat. So the food is not actually made from the grounds that we think are actually, it's artificially made. So if you're going food from artificial manure, then you end up with artificial food in one sense or the other, because it's actually not having what we call the nourishment that actually is. So today they don't practice what we used to do in the past, or what our ancestors did, called crop rotation. They used to leave the crops to go fallow, the land to have a sense of going fallow, let the land to rest for a while, and then rotate the crops. They don't do that anymore. It's all about intensive farming, it's about on-time farming, it's about getting it out. Today we're finding that a lot of the trace minerals are actually missing from our soil, our topsoil. So even the food that is grown in our soil becomes nutrient deficient. So we're also seeing at the same time, we are in a state where a lot of what we call our produce, by the time it gets to the supermarket, they radiate it, so it has a longer shelf life. Now, radiation increases shelf life, but at the same time, it has a negative impact on your health. Same time, you find that a lot of our food has got a lot of artificial preservatives, artificial colors, artificial flavors, okay? And that is why it's very important for us to realize that if you are not eating a whole plant-based natural diet, you are in a state where some people, sometimes I wonder, people never eat fruits. I say, I don't eat fruits. And they're so proud of it, you know? And I said to myself, really, you don't eat any fruit at all? I said, you can go for a whole year without eating a single fruit. Yet they don't realize there's certain vitamins and minerals that are not even in the food or in the health store. So it's very important to realize supplementation, yes, it's a growing industry today. The natural holistic remedies are so vast in what they do and so specialized. One thing we've got to remember is that supplementation in itself is something that our ancestors didn't have to do, okay? We're having to do it today in this modern world because of lifestyle. We're living a fast-paced, highly stressed lifestyle that our bodies are working harder, but at the same time, there's not enough spare parts to maintain what we call the momentum of the body's capacity. That's why when you take a supplement, you feel different, you feel more energized, you sleep better, aches and pains have to go, because the body's been like struggling for such a long time, not having enough zinc, not having enough vitamin C, not having enough of the copper or the selenium or the manganese. Now, there was a study that was done in Senegal. The doctors were amazed. They wanted to find out what was going on. They said, there's virtually no heart disease in this village. So they went straight to this village and said, how come people don't have heart disease here? It's a small village in Senegal. And they found that, they studied them and they found that the soil that they were growing their crops was high in selenium. So they realized that virtually nobody in that village had any form of heart disease. They had about another place in China where there's another village where virtually even young children had problems with their heart. They were getting holes in the heart. Okay, they went and studied it and they found that in their soil they had very low levels of selenium. Okay, so what does that tell you and me? The power of nutrients can also produce congenital defects. Okay, like hole in the heart. The lack of nutrients can actually create what they call deficient diseases or degenerative diseases, where, like I said, diabetes, high blood pressure, arthritis, prostate cancer, prostate problems, uterine cancer, breast cancer, bronchitis, arthritis, all these conditions can all be related to deficiencies in certain key minerals, nutrients that I'm talking about. So when you talk about Mariandina,
yes,
Professor Sally himself was a fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons in this country.
And who is Professor Sally?
Professor Sally is my father. He is the one who is the inventor of what we call our range of marine products. These are food supplements that he designed and spent over 10 years researching, and after 10 years of researching, he was able to produce a range of marine supplements which are in use today.
Where can we find them? Because we're running out of time, but I don't want our viewers to go without. And by the way, these are found in Africa. They're found in Ghana, several places in Ghana.
Yeah.
I mean, Stephen has been to Ghana.
I've been to Ghana 5 times. So the professor himself has actually appeared on television in Ghana. He's been on CNN, again, because he was able to help people. I'll just tell you that story of CNN. Basically, what happened in Uganda, we had a condition called HIV/AIDS there, killing so many people. And many at that time, we had mass graves. People were buried. Within 2 weeks, as healthy as somebody may be, they were actually losing weight, having constant diarrhea, and they actually had what we call a situation where they couldn't perform at work. So in Uganda, what happened, people would normally people would normally go to the village because it's cheaper to be in the village than in the city. What Professor Sally started his work in research, he produced a supplement called Marandina A, which actually boosts the body's immune system, gives you energy, repairs body cells and tissues. Any person who's got HIV/AIDS, they have a lowered immune system that actually can contribute to a lot of opportunistic infections. What Professor Sally was able to do was boost the immune system and help the body to repair itself using over 28 different nutrients, which is synergized correct to do just that. CNN came to Uganda, to film a war in northern Uganda, and they found out how this professor was healing so many of the patients using Marandina, and they indeed them and filmed some of the patients walk into the place. We got the video for that. And they actually 2 weeks later they came back. Only 2 patients were remaining. The rest had been discharged just after 2 weeks. These were patients who had been going to the home, go to the village to die. Now that shows you one thing, is that we are needing some form of what we call repair and regeneration on a regular basis. He produced 3 supplements: Marina A, which boosts the immune system, gives you energy, repairs body cells and tissues. It also improves what we call the heart function. It helps with high blood pressure. It helps with what we call improving the coronary function of the heart. It also helps to remove what we call, it helps with cholesterol balance as well. But also it's very good for improving mood as well.
So just remembering that we're running out of time, but I want the people to know, where can we, I want the people to know, A, how do they get in contact with you? Okay. If they want to get in contact with you, and I guess the Mariandina.com, www.mariandina.com.
Yeah, let me just share with you. I mean, it's www.mariandinas.com. I'll just spell it just in case. It's Mariandina. That's Mariandina, Mariandina.com. Or you can just Google Professor Sally, SSALI. Okay? Now that alone will help us to really bring an awareness. There's a lot of information on the website. You can look into that and get information that you require.
Okay, you can also
you can reach me as well. If you want to reach me directly, my number directly is 077 659 61818. That's 077 659 61818. I've also got another number you can utilize, which is number, or you can email us to the website. That's Mariandina.com.
Okay, thank you. Now, viewers, thank you so much. I really hope that you've really benefited from this. And again, you can call us at the studio on 07944 346028. Stephen, what would your last remarks be to our viewers?
First of all, I want to thank Dimpers TV for giving us the sharing that they've done, because what they've done today is to help us to communicate with you, to help us to share a message of wellness and well-being. Today our people are dying unnecessarily. Today we are going through a health crisis, a health emergency, a state of emergency. And many times we are in a state where we are not knowing why we are actually going through this challenge at this moment in time. We're burying so many people that should have never been buried, in a way that is happening in terms of the shortening of their life expectancy. So what I'm pledging right now is that let's actually start a health campaign here at Dimpers to raise awareness, to provide people with solutions, to provide people with ways out of what we call challenges they may be facing. We are now in a state of address where we need to actually form what we call channels of wellness, where we can actually look at natural solutions. Nature's already provided a lot of stuff for us. We just need to find out how to use it, what works, and how we can help. So I just want to say thank you so much as well for you, because you have also prepared us to actually create what they call the environment. I always believe everything is about environment. You're always going to be a product of your environment. And this is what we have to do today. Create a healthy environment, create a healthy lifestyle.
So thank you again. I remain Linda Nalunga from True Essence of Nature, also known as Tion. And again, we're creating programs, teaching people. I mean, at the moment, actually, myself and Stephen are writing a course. Several courses are coming through to help people, learn about health, how to manage your health, and how to stay well. And you can reach me on 0751 537 0655. And again, Dimpas TV, you can follow us at Dimpas TV or Dimpas TV Lounge. And you can contact us again. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that was